And when Mike Lowry is, like I said, that playboy, they talk about, and the spoil, this is the spoilers part, guys. So if you haven't watched the movie, you don't want to be spoiled, this is where I'm going to get to spoilers territory. Where you have Mike Lowry's playboy ness comes back to haunt him. He's dealing with the fact that he has this new villain is always 10 steps ahead of him. He whooped his butt like numerous times, and it's just as reckless and hard hitting as Mike and crazy as Mike is. Why? It's because you're dealing with they throw in the whole long lost I didn't know I had a son thing. Mike Lowry was undercover, and before Bad Boys, Marcus and them they all met, he was so deep undercover, that he got involved with the what's her name with Kate Del Castillo's character, who she was known as the Witch. I guess they talked about running away together. She was in a life of crime in a mob family that was really dangerous. They fell in love, but he realized that she was a little crazier than he really realized, and so he had to turn on her and took her down, and she went to jail. But when she was in jail, she had a baby, and she kept it a secret and raised that boy to believe that almost like a Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. Darth Vader killed your father, kind of a thing. So he's on his Luke Skywalker path to avenge his family, based on what his mom is telling him. Right? That was a Jacob. Was it Jacob Scapio? If I'm saying the name right, who plays Mike Lowry's son. Now, when it got down to that reveal, I already knew that. Okay, yeah. Before it was like in the middle of the movie. I'm like, yeah, they're doing the in Marvel Cinematic Universe. With this being in there, this new team of youngsters that's kind of joining the Bad Boys team called Ammo. Um, introduction of a new captain, a new path forward. This is the think about how think about where Fast and Furious began in the first movie, and look at where it ended up after the fifth. It's nowhere connected. Now, I'm not saying that Bad Boys is going to go that far off. Not, Mike Lowry and Marcus aren't going to become like astronauts who are saving the world every damn day from aliens or something like that. They're not going to just come from one plot to a whole different type of a plot. It's still going to be police forces and taking on these other. The lucky thing for them is that they were already cops and they're already taking on these types of people. So they're not going to have to build a team and go too far out there. But people seem to get upset when you say stuff like, "I want to make a Gabrielle Union Bad Boys kind of or Bad Girls kind of a movie and whatnot." So you know what? Let's not do that. We'll give them a TV show, keep them in the same universe, reintroduce them in there, and just expand the team, such as like, people get upset that these new movies, these reboots, or these remakes happen all the time, and they're like, why do you have to change it? Why can't you recast the same people that were there from the beginning? It's because life ain't like that. People get old, they retire, they die. But if the institution, if the group, if the organization is going to keep forward, the Marvel Cinematic Universe figured this out. You're not the next Avengers movie is going to look way different from after Endgame. I mean, are we going to have Iron Man in there? Are we going to have Thor in there forever? Are we going to have Captain America on it? No. It's probably you're going to one day in the future you're going to have if they keep on this same timeline and this same cinematic universe, you are going to have an Avengers movie where none of the original four is even going to be in it. Maybe they might be mentioned. Maybe they might be consulting. Thor might just show up real quick, like, "Hey, I have some information," and he flies off. But it's going to be led by Black Panther, uh, Captain Marvel, and all the new people, Vision, and all the new people. It's going to be a totally different one, but it'll still be the same world, which is true to life. I mean, you have a police station where cops get old, they retire. It's the same thing in a football game, in a football team, in a football game. The Texans that are playing, the Houston Texans that are playing football today are different from when the Texans team was first invented. David Carr is no longer the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But it's still the same team. So we're going to gradually move people in and move people out. And I feel like that's where by the fourth Bad Boy movie, when this comes out, Marcus is probably definitely retired. He's going to definitely be done. But he's going to probably come in and consult. Will Smith is probably going to help train Ammo and lead them forward. But they're going to expand into a whole. Ammo is probably going to become a whole thing that helps and solves world problems the way Fast and Furious is doing because all the elements are there. Marvel Cinematic Universe has proved it. The Fast and Furious franchise really proved it. I mean, you have a team of people who used to race, who are now just working for the government and just saving us from these supervillains all over the world. But what was part one about? Racers that were robbing things and stuff, and so you had the cops that had to go undercover and pretend to be racers to try to infiltrate it to see who was really doing. That's a total departure of what Fast and Furious is today. And the same thing is going to happen with Bad Boys. Maybe not as dramatically because, like I said, it started off with cops and it can end with cops. So it's like I said, it's not going to be. At first, it started with the Miami Police Department, and now they're working for NASA. But I feel like that's exactly what happened with the Fast and Furious. And the proof to me of that is the fact that they have this TV show out there with Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba in the same universe. You have this new team on Bad Boys for Life called Ammo. With that, and then you have Mike Lowry's son, who was the villain, who then by the end tried to atone for what he did and the pain that he caused by helping his father and saving his father and turning himself in and saying he wanted to atone, and Will Smith saying that this might be a way for you to make up for all the bad that you did, which will make a very interesting part four. Because if Will Smith's son, who was the villain of the third movie, becomes a member and probably future leader, the next Mike Lowry in part four and part five, and then if there is a six or seven, that's going to be some interesting conversations right there. You were the one who killed all these people. You're a murderer. I can never trust you. It's exactly what Shaw is going through in Hobbs and Shaw. He said that I have some atoning to do. Just saying that out loud doesn't fix the fact that you killed Han. I don't get that, and I don't see how it's going to work with Bad Boys. But obviously, it's going to have to. So, like I always say, why did they do that? Well, because it's in the script. It's going to be interesting. If anything, is going to be interesting. Yes, he was lied to. Yes, he was engineered by his mother to hate and to do what he did to Martin Lawrence and Will Smith's characters. But he he still did it. It's funny how the like just like Toretto from Fast and the Furious, you got these criminals, and all of a sudden the government's like, well, we're gonna give you a second chance because you got a certain set of skills, and we're gonna need you. Exactly what's about to happen. So mark my words. That's the direction that Fast and the Furious is going. And look, just let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's a good thing or do you think it's a bad thing? I think it's an interesting thing. We're going to see how good it is in the days, I guess, weeks or years to come. So without just let me know what you guys think and so let's put in the comments below and we'll just keep talking about that.